Tottenham Hotspur have today closed their summer transfer window after one of the busiest markets in recent years, marked by impactful signings and significant departures that reshape the squad now under the command of Thomas Frank. The Spurs board sought to balance immediate reinforcements to raise the team's level with long-term investments that could bear fruit in the coming seasons. Here's a full recap of all the confirmed moves Tottenham completed this summer. But before we get started, make sure to hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the very latest Spurs news we bring you here exclusively. Among the arrivals, one of the first moves was the permanent signing of centre-back Kevin Danso, secured for around £21 million. Another deal that had already been in the works was the capture of young forward Mathis Tel, who left Bayern Munich to join Spurs for approximately £30 million. The club also confirmed the signing of Luka Vuskovic, a highly rated Croatian prospect, in a deal estimated between £9 and £12 million. To further strengthen the defence, Japanese defender Kota Takai arrived from Kawasaki Frontale for around £5 million. In midfield and attack, Spurs invested heavily. One of the standout deals was the arrival of Mohamed Kudus, signed from West Ham for £55 million, set to be a key figure in Frank's attack. The club also secured defensive midfielder João Palhinha on loan from Bayern Munich, adding steel and experience in the centre of the pitch. As the market reached its closing stages, Tottenham confirmed the most eagerly anticipated deal of the window, Xavi Simons, the talented youngster from RB Leipzig, in a move worth around £52 million, one of the most high-profile signings of the summer. Alongside him, Spurs also secured promising Scottish midfielder Conor Glancy from Celtic on a free transfer for the U18s. And to close the market in style, the club announced the loan signing of French forward Randal Kolo Muani from Paris Saint-Germain, on a deal running until the end of the 2025-26 season, with no option to buy. His arrival could prove to be a shrewd piece of business for Spurs, especially with concerns over Dominic Solanke's ankle injury. Reports suggest the striker may require surgery, potentially sidelining him for much longer than the 2 weeks Thomas Frank initially predicted, underlining the importance of securing another attacking option. If the signings lifted the fans' spirits, the departures were just as significant. The most emotional farewell was that of Son Heung-min, a modern club icon, who joined Los Angeles FC, bringing to an end a successful era in North London. Another departure was midfielder Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Initially loaned out in July 2024 with an obligation to buy, he was officially sold to Marseille in May in a deal worth between £11 and £20 million. Earlier in the summer, in June, young Jayden Williams completed a move to Colchester United after being released by the club. In addition, experienced players such as Fraser Foster, Sergio Reguilón and Alfie Whiteman bid farewell at the end of their contracts, bringing their time in North London to a close. Another departure was Timo Werner, whose loan spell was not renewed by Spurs in May, sending the forward back to RB Leipzig. Tottenham also chose to loan out a number of young talents to aid their development, including Alejo Valles, Alfie Dorrington, Ashley Phillips, Mikey Moore, Will Lancashire, Jamie Donnelly, George Abbott, Hyok Yang, Alfie Devine, and Damola Ajayi, all looking for more minutes and competitive experience away from North London. On the final day of the transfer window, Villarreal CF and Tottenham Hotspur reached an agreement for the loan of Manor Solomon, who will play for the Yellow Submarine during the 2025-26 season. The player will join the Spanish club on a one-year loan, with his full salary covered by Villarreal. It is believed that a small loan fee is involved, although it remains unclear whether the deal includes an option or obligation to buy. On the same day, in the early hours of deadline day, Tottenham Hotspur also confirmed the departure of Bryan Gil to Girona. Initially, it was expected that the English club would terminate the player's contract so he could join the La Liga side on a free transfer. However, the deal was finalised at €10 million, £8.5 million, securing the Spanish winger's permanent move to Girona. Journalist Alastair Gold of Football London had already reported before the deadline that Randal Kolo Muani would be the last player through the door on deadline day, barring any late surprises. According to him, Spurs did explore alternatives for a centre-back and a winger, but the top names on Thomas Frank's list were simply not available. There was also the concern that any defensive reinforcements might not be willing to play second fiddle to the established pairing of Christian Romero and Mickey van der Ven, leading the club to avoid overspending on players who would not fit the long-term plan. This strategy shows Tottenham's commitment to avoiding panic buys, even under the natural pressure of the transfer market. As Gold highlighted, last-minute announcements may excite fans, but they do not always translate into good footballing decisions. Rather than committing resources to players who did not fully convince Frank or the recruitment team, the club opted to remain cautious and is already eyeing the January window as a chance to go after higher-profile targets such as Savigno and Rafael Leo, who remain on the radar. All in all, Tottenham spent over £170 million on major reinforcements such as Kudus, Simons, Tell, and Danso, while also opening the door to a new era without Son Heung-min. Under Thomas Frank's leadership, the challenge now will be to turn this refreshed squad into consistent results on the pitch. And now the question goes to you, Spurs fans. Did Tottenham do the right thing by focusing on targeted reinforcements and avoiding panic spending on deadline day? Or should the club have been more aggressive in covering other positions this summer? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to keep receiving exclusive updates on all the latest Spurs news shaking up the club behind the scenes. Until next time, come on you Spurs!